Hello everyone, I am presenting on the topic LLP Audit, its provision, audit program and recent development. LLP is a hybrid form of a company and a partnership with limited liability. While normally more focus is given on a company audit, but it is equally important to understand the LLP audit not only for its compliance but also the financial credibility and transparency. So let us go to the basic provisions for an LLP audit. First, the applicability of an audit for an LLP. So, Section 34, subsection 4 of the LLP Act says that audit is mandatory if the turnover exceeds 40 lakhs in any financial year or the capital contribution exceeds 25 lakhs. Any financial year means each financial year must be examined to determine whether the audit is applicable or not. If both are below the threshold limit, then audit is not mandatory. However, if the partners desire, then they can go for a voluntary audit. If either of the both are above the threshold limit and LLP audit is not done, then penalty will be applicable for an LLP ranging from 25,000 to 5 lakh, and for designated partners it will be from 10,000 to 1 lakh. Next, appointment of an auditor. Rule 24 of the LLP Rules 2009 says that auditor must be appointed by the designated partners. First auditor must be appointed any time during the first financial year, and subsequent auditor must be appointed at least 30 days before the financial year. So next we are going to the compliance filing. So the two important major documents for an LLP audit is Form 8 and Form 11. Form 8 is a statement of accounts and solvency. So Form 8 has two parts. One part says about whether the LLP is solvent or not, whether it is able to pay its debt. Part B says about the brief summary, financial summary, including the statement of assets and liabilities, statements of income and expenditure. The due date for filing the Form 8 will be 30th October of every year. That is, it must be filed within 30 days from the end of the 6th month of the financial year. The failing to file this form will attract a penalty of 100 per day, having with no maximum limit. So next we are moving to the Form 11, that is a annual return. It is a summary of an LLP partner's changes in a partnership structure and the overall compliance status of an LLP. The due date for filing the Form 11 is 30th May of every year, and the penalty will be applicable if this Form 11 is not filed within the due date, that is 100 per day till the date of filing. So both Form 8 and Form 11 is compulsory irrespective of whether the audit is applicable or not. The next, the audit program for an LLP. What is an audit program? Audit program is a detailed plan that the auditor has to go through before conducting an audit. First, the preliminary step: obtain the engagement letter and confirm the scope of audit. Collect the basic documents like LLP agreement. LLP agreement is a very important document before starting any LLP audit, because it contains all the details right from the interest to partners, remuneration, any profit sharing ratios. Next, the certificate of incorporation needs to be checked. Next, the partners KYC document, the Aadhaar, PAN. Next, the previous year audited financials to check the opening balances. Understanding the business operations, internal control and nature of transaction, which will be mentioned in the LLP agreement itself. Next, assessing the applicability of audit under the LLP Act and Income Tax Act. Next, second step will be the planning the audit. First, prepare an audit plan and allocate the resources. Set the materiality threshold. Third, verification of statutory records. Check the maintenance of books as per 34 of the LLP Act, whether it is as per double entry system. Verify if books are maintained on a cash or accrual basis. Check documents like Form 3 if there is any changes in an agreement, Form 8, Form 11, whether it has been filed properly. Next, verification of the financial statement. Loans and advances. Obtain an external confirmation for major balances. Revenue income verification. Vouch the sales invoices, agreements, purchase expenditure. Review the bills, payment vouchers. Bank reconciliation statement. Verify the year-end balances by obtaining the bank statements. Fixed assets. Physical verification and depreciation check needs to be done. Receivables and payables, the aging analysis, the confirmation needs to be obtained. GST and TDS compliances like return filings, what is the payment status, whether it has been paid monthly or not. Next, the compliance check. If the turnover exceeds 1 crore or 10 crore in some certain cases, then whether the tax audit is applicable or not must be checked. Next, the related party transactions. Identify the related parties from the LLP agreement and ensure AS18 disclosures requirements are met. Reporting. Draft audit report under the LLP Act. Management representation must be obtained in case if it is a LLP audit with tax audit, then two MR management representation letter needs to be obtained. Next, ensure the inclusion of UDIN and a partner signature in all the necessary documents. And last, issue the audit report. Next, the recent developments in an LLP audit. NFRA, extension of company audit standards to LLP. LLPs do not have a specific set of accounting standards. So NFRA on 25th November 2024, it recommended that the 40 accounting standards and standards on quality management that was applicable to the company must needs to be applicable to the LLPs too. So this recommendation now awaits central government's approval with an expected enforcement date of 1st April 2026. Next, the ICS exposure draft of LLP specific auditing standards April 2025. This exposure draft includes all the 40 accounting standards and standards on quality management that is applicable to the company with some minor changes, that is from shareholders to partners. This draft was open to the public comments and professional feedback till 1st May 2025. So the MC will first consider the recommendation of the NFRA and then issue the notification. Once the notification is issued, the ICA will finalize the standards on auditing based on this draft. Next, the ICA's guidance note on a financial statement of an LLP. As companies have financial statement as per Schedule 3, LLPs doesn't have. So the ICA has issued the guidance note. This guidance note has a illustrative format, Excel where the financial statement is given, and this will be applicable for all the LLPs on or after 1st April 2024. Thank you.